In today's world, a lot of people call themselves Christians. But in the New Testament, there's a different word that shows up again and again and again: disciple. Not just someone who believes in Jesus Christ, but someone who follows him. So, what does that actually mean? Because if we're honest, it's easy to reduce faith to ideas, to beliefs, to something we agree with, but don't necessarily live out. But Jesus never said, agree with me. He said, follow me. And that changes everything. To be a disciple isn't just intellectual, it's relational. It's not just knowing about Jesus, it's actually knowing him, walking with him, learning from him, becoming like him. When Jesus called his first followers, he didn't hand them a book, he gave them an invitation. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. In other words, come with me, and I will change you. And that transformation starts with surrender. Jesus said, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. That's not casual. That's not comfortable. That's costly. It means saying, my life is no longer my own. My direction, my priorities, my purpose, all of it belongs to him. So what does a true disciple actually look like? It's not complicated, but it's not easy. A disciple learns from Jesus, lives like Jesus, and leads others to Jesus. And Scripture gives us some clear markers. First, obedience, not just hearing Jesus' words, but actually doing them, because love for Christ shows up in action. Second, love. Real sacrificial love for others, the kind that costs something, the kind that reflects how Jesus loved us. And third, fruitfulness. A disciple's life changes, and that change spills over into others, because disciples don't just grow, they multiply. And then there are the deeper qualities: faithfulness in hard times, humility when pride creeps in, a teachable spirit, always learning, always growing, a willingness to sacrifice, and a mindset that says, my life is part of something bigger. But here's the key. You don't become a disciple by trying harder. You become a disciple by staying closer. Jesus said, abide in me. Stay connected, like a branch to a vine. Because real transformation doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from relationship. And that's where everything changes, because discipleship isn't a solo journey. It happens in community, in friendships, in encouragement, in sharpening one another over time. And it always leads outward. A true disciple doesn't just receive truth, they carry it, they share it, they live it out in a world that desperately needs it. So here's the question. Are you just a believer, or are you a disciple? This is a serious question that we all need to ask ourselves, because truth isn't just something to agree with, it's something to follow. Faith isn't something we have, it's something we live. And courage is saying yes to Jesus, even when it costs us everything. In the end, that's being a disciple. For more of the biblical history related to this topic, please visit the article linked in the description, and also don't forget to like and subscribe.